Tales by Ready. So before we continue with our conversation, let's wait for people to join in so that we can continue with today's conversation. Kindly bear with me because of the background noise that you can hear. I don't know what kind of day you have had today. Maybe you have had a good one, but I have a feeling you almost gave up today. Maybe you smiled around people. Maybe you answered, I'm fine. Maybe you even went to church, posted on social media, laughed at a joke. But deep inside, you're tired. Not physically, but your heart is tired. You're tired of trying. You're tired of hoping. You're even tired of starting over. And today, you whispered something you have never said before. I think I'm done. If that is what you're feeling right now, I'm really glad you're here, not because I have all the answers, but because sometimes what we really need is not someone to fix our problems. Sometimes we just need someone to remind us not to make a permanent decision because of temporary pain. So today, let's just talk about it. I want you to think about something. Have you ever noticed how people celebrate success, but nobody celebrates the days you almost quit? Nobody claps for the person who got out of bed while fighting depression. Nobody applauds the mother who kept going even though she had no idea how she would pay the bills. Nobody sees the father who cried alone in his car before going home because he did not want his family to worry. Nobody sees the student who failed an exam and still showed up the next morning. Nobody sees those battles. But those are some of the bravest moments in a person's life. Sometimes surviving the day is an achievement. And if all you did today was survive, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you. Because can I tell you a story? There was a man who planted a bamboo. He prepared the soil, he planted the seed. Every day he watered it. 1 month passed, nothing. 6 months, nothing. 1 year, 3 years, still nothing. So people started laughing at him. You keep watering an empty ground. Accept that it did not work, but he never stopped watering it. Most people would have stopped long before then. But then something amazing happened. the bamboo finally came out of the ground, and in just a few weeks, it grew higher than anyone imagined. People thought it grew in weeks. It didn't. It had been growing for years, just where nobody could see it. Its roots had become strong enough to support the height that was coming. Sometimes I wonder how many people quit while their roots were still growing. How many dreams died because someone stopped watering the ground too early. Maybe that is where you are right now. You don't see results, you don't see change, you even don't see progress. But that does not mean nothing is happening. Can I ask you a question? What if this difficult season is not here to destroy you? What if it is preparing you? I know that does not remove the pain, but maybe this season has a purpose for you. All you have to do is wait so that you can see it. You know what is interesting? When you're hurting, our minds become very convincing. They tell us things like, I'm too late, I'm not good enough, everyone is moving ahead, I have failed so many times, my life will never change. Have you ever noticed that our minds can become terrible storytellers? They take one bad chapter and convince us that the whole book is bad. But one chapter is not the whole story. One mistake is not your whole identity. Our rejection isn't your final answer. Our failure isn't our future. You know, I remember hearing about a marathon runner. Near the finishing line, his legs gave up. He collapsed. He could not run anymore. People thought he would stop. Instead, he crawled, slowly, painfully. Every movement hurt, but he crossed the finish line. But he finally crossed the finish line. He didn't finish beautifully, but he just finished. Sometimes that is enough. Maybe you don't need to run anymore. Maybe today you just need to crawl. Progress is still progress. Can I be honest with you? Social media has made many people feel like they are behind. You open your phone You open your phone, someone has bought a house, someone started a business, someone is traveling and celebrating, and then you look at your own life and think, what happened to me? But remember this, people usually post their highlights, not their heartbreak. You don't see the nights they cried, you don't see the deaths, you don't see the anxiety or the arguments, you don't even see their sacrifices. So don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight. Maybe you have failed. Maybe you have lost money. Maybe you have trusted the wrong people. Maybe your relationship ended. I don't know your story, but I know this. As long as you're still breathing, your story is not over. Imagine if your favorite movie ended halfway through. The hero is struggling, everything is falling apart, the villain looks like they have won. You'd probably think that's a terrible movie, but that's because you have stopped watching before the ending. What if you're judging your life too early? What if this is not the ending? What if this is just a difficult middle? I want you to do something. Think about one problem that almost broke you 5 years ago. At that time, it felt impossible. You cried, you worried, you thought life was over. But somehow, you made it here. Not because life became easy, but because you were stronger than you realized. You have survived difficult days before. You can survive this one too. If nobody has told you today, I'm glad you're still here because your life still matters. Your story matters. Your future matters. Even if you can't see it today, especially if you can't see it today, before we, before we finish, I want to ask you something. Don't answer me, but you can answer yourself. If you give up today, what beautiful moment might you never get to see? Is it the people you will help? Is it the laughter you will share with your loved ones or the dreams that you will achieve? What if all that is waiting on the other side of today. So here's what I want you to do. Make one small promise to yourself. I will not quit today. That's it. Tomorrow, you can make the same promise again. One day at a time, one step at a time. So please don't give up. Don't beat yourself up so much, because don't quit today. You can start over. That is still an option. So don't beat yourself up so much. You can start over. You can keep going on. You can even pray. Praying helps you to calm down a little bit. So please don't give up today. And if today is the day that you wanted to quit, just do one small thing at a time and everything is going to be all right. So before I leave, I would love to hear from you. What has helped you keep going during your hardest season? Leave it in the comments, because your words might become the encouragement someone else needs to hear today. And if this conversation spoke to your heart, kindly subscribe and share this live stream with one person be thinking of giving up today. Sometimes a single conversation might be enough to help someone to stay one more day, and one more day can change everything. So I will still want to continue with this conversation, because I feel like people need to hear this. So if today is the day you wanted to quit, it is because something happened. Because people don't just wake up and decide they are done. No, something must have happened. Maybe you worked so hard and nothing changed. Maybe someone disappointed you. Maybe you looked at your life and wondered, what is the point? And now you're thinking about giving up. I hope you don't. A few years ago, someone planted 2 trees on the same day. Every morning, they watered both of them. After a few weeks, one tree had already started growing. The other one, nothing. For months, it looked like the second tree was dead. Anyone passing by would have said, "Stop wasting your time." But they kept watering it. Then one day, it finally broke through the ground. What nobody could see was that all that time, it was growing deep roots before anyone else could see the leaves. Maybe that's where you are today. It feels like nothing is happening. But just because you can't see growth doesn't mean there isn't any. So don't let one bad day make you give up on a life that could still be beautiful too. Could still be beautiful. Stay. Keep going. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. And if this story found you on the day you needed it most, subscribe to Tales by Reddy. Maybe the next story will be the one that helps you to keep going. Thank you for being part of this conversation. So far, we have learned so much, and I'm glad that you're still here. Maybe today you want to quit, you feel like quitting because it feels like nothing is happening. But just because you don't see growth, it doesn't mean there isn't any growth that is happening. So don't let one bad day make you give up on a life that could still be beautiful. Stay, keep going. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. And if this story found you on the day you needed it most, kindly subscribe to Tales by Reddy. Maybe the next story would be the one that helps you to keep going. I still want to continue with this conversation, so let's wait for people to join in so that we can continue on this beautiful, beautiful conversation. I've been asking people not to quit today because I feel like there's so much that is happening in life and you might feel like you really want to give up. I don't want anyone to give up yet because we still have a lot to cover in our years to come. So if today is the day you wanted to quit. Please wait. Before you make that decision, please give me 1 minute. Because sometimes the worst decisions are made on the hardest days. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. You've been walking for hours. You're tired. Your legs hurt. You can't even see the top anymore because of the fog. So you tell yourself, maybe I'm not meant to reach it. What you don't know is that the top is only a few steps away. The fog is hiding the view, not the destination. Life does that sometimes. It hides your progress. It hides your purpose. It makes you believe you have come this far for nothing. But feelings are not always facts. The person you're becoming is being built in moments like this, not when life is easy, but when everything inside you wants to stop and you choose one more step anyway. So if today is the day you wanted to quit, don't quit today. Rest if you need to. Cry if you need to. Talk to someone if you need to. But give yourself another chance. One more day, one more step, one more try. You did not come this far just because you need to stop here. If you're choosing to keep going today, type one more step in the comments and kindly subscribe to this channel because we'll keep working together. So today, that is where I want to leave our conversation for this video. Thank you so much for staying with me. I think we've learned so much so far, and I hope even in the videos that I'm going to be uploading next, that you still keep learning so much so that you don't quit. I don't want anybody to quit just because they didn't find someone to talk to. This is a platform where we can talk to each other, we can start conversations together, and we can learn things together so that we are able to start over our life again and still continue holding on because God has so much for us in the future. So thank you so much for being here. Let's meet again in the next video. Goodbye.